So with library nerfed and us still wanting to get a high chance at a legendary from the bestiary, what are the spots that I would recommend? Well, I'm going to go over my new favorite spot, not necessarily because it's absolutely the best method no matter what, because I think it's a very, very solid method, getting you a ton of experience comparable to the previous library farm, while also being incredibly relaxing and also able to be done and preferred to be done with multiple parties. Let's jump into it. All right, so this time I'm actually going to start the video with my explanation on how I calculate experience. So we all know that there's been a few comments that talk about, oh, this method, blah, 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 doesn't calculate for this. Every single time I'm talking about experience, I check out my server Paragon level. You can see it says 40% experience. Now, this isn't a 40% reduction. This is a 40% experience out of 100%. So if I were to get 1,000 experience, I'm getting 400 experience instead, due to the fact that my server Paragon, or my Paragon level, is 8 above the server Paragon. So whenever I'm talking about an experience, I'm talking about the 100% rate. And that means that if I was at server Paragon level, that is how much experience I would be getting. Now, if I was below the server Paragon level, it would be more. And for myself, it is significantly less. Now, that being said, I believe that the 100% experience rate is the easiest for anyone to kind of calculate their own number of experience they'll be getting. But all that being said, let's jump into my method, or the area that I enjoy the most. And that is going to be in Mount Zaven here. So if we go to Mount Zaven and we jump over to the Moon Clan encampment, we can see the farm here. So we're going to teleport over there and check this area out. Now, there's a few reasons why this is great. First off is that library now is just miserable to farm in because the spawn rates are so low compared to what it was before, as I showed in my previous video on the library being nerfed. On top of that, there are a lot of people who just know the library and AFK there, and unfortunately with the spawn rates being nerfed so drastically, it's very difficult for people to get kill streaks at all. Now, here is the Moon Clan encampment, and with this method, you'll see that there's quite a few monsters in this first area. Then there's some in the left area on top of that little peak, or that plateau that we just went through. And then there's also monsters on this right side area and all around this circular right side area with this outlook on top. There's a ton of different spawn points, and the basic idea here is that you're going to want to come here with a party in order to get most experience possible, just like any other outworld farm or open world farm. And you're not going to want to go past this point on the map, and you're also not going to want to go past this point on the map in order for you to get maximum experience and keep in range of everyone else in the area. Now, these monsters are relatively easy to kill. Usually you're not going to be too pressed for HP, but there's a few reasons why this is great. And one reason is obviously the spawn density of the monsters. Second reason is, and of course we're getting disconnected, but second reason is we're going to get insane amounts of kill streaks. I've been able to get an infinite kill streak stacking if you're able to time the kills correctly with your group. And that just means you can go as much as possible. I was getting up to 700, 800 kill streaks before, someone had to go and turn in their monstrous essence. And that's one of the reasons why we're farming here. But also due to the fact that we are actually getting 2 shrine spawn rates. So there's one right here, and there's also another one over here across the bridge. As you can see here, there's a conduit shrine, and you're going to be picking these up and cycling through them to get your massive experience boosting XP pool shrines. Those XP pool shrines will give you a ton of extra XP. If we could just see here and we just look at our XP, I'm at 1,765,619. If I were to go and kill these 2, which I'll do real quickly here, I can go ahead and check my XP right here. You can see here I got about 500 experience. Now, when we pick up an XP globe from people, and these are going to be the elite XP globes, you'll see that getting 648, and if you happen to get the shrine, you're going to drop an additional 220 experience per person you've killed, which basically doubles your experience rates for the portion that you're killing those monsters. Now, the kill streak also kind of keeps this in line as well in terms of doubling your experience. It's what I understand and what I experienced from kill streaks. You have a ton of extra experience for the first 100 kills, and then you get less experience as you go along and get to those higher kill streaks. So honestly, as long as you're keeping up a few kill streaks in the 100 range at the beginning of the killing off the monsters in the Moon Clan, you should be completely fine. Now, if you're running this area completely alone, this is going to be so much worse than it is when you're running in a group. And you can see here that the spawn rates on the monsters are not super high because I am running around here alone. But I'll go ahead and show you a clip here of us running in a group and how awesome the kill streaks and the monsters are. So here we are, and I happen to be in a party of 3 right now. I think I can go ahead and invite this 4th person that's farming in the area. You can see here that we are actually at a 93 kill streak here, and this happens quite often. And you can notice that we're not just a singular party. This is 2 parties in the area. And actually, I've been coordinating double parties with my clans in order for us to get maximum experience gains. So for those of you out there that are like, oh, these people are ruining my spots. Now, although AFKers tend to ruin spots just to the fact that they kill the monsters on spawn and we can't tag them, when you're running a double group, it's very, very efficient as long as people are doing the right strategy due to the spawn rates increase. What is the right strategy, you ask? Is there a method to open world farming? There is. And the key thing to note when you're open world farming is to not use your abilities or use very low damaging abilities in order to just tag the monsters. This seems to be a concept that a lot of people don't understand. And so I'll explain it here. When you tag a monster, you've gotten credit for that kill. So if you have 2 parties in the area, if everyone's using their abilities, well, one party gains experience and the other party gains experience, and that's it. But if you're running 2 parties and one member of your party tags a monster and then another member of that second party that's not, part of your 4 tags that same monster and ends up killing it, well, guess what? Both parties receive the same experience. Now, this is difficult to do because oftentimes these areas are not flooded or you cannot get 2 groups together. But if you're able to coordinate 2 groups and have them understand what you should be doing when you're farming, for you barbarians, use your whirlwind maybe a couple times and then move on. For your crusaders, run around with your horse and leave a fiery trail, and that's it. Or run the extra wave of fire attack on your basic and then use that to tag monsters. For you necros, just run around using your basic. Wizards, basic. Demon Hunter, basic. Just use your basic abilities to tag the monster so you don't kill them off. And this is why I think a lot of people don't understand how we're getting such increased experience rates. Now, what are the increased experience rates or the experience rates that I'm getting when I'm running around here? I'm actually getting about 80k experience. And once again, that's at 100% experience rate when I'm farming in this area. Now, that is at the peak. But if I'm casually farming and maybe I'm not paying super close attention, or my party is not necessarily paying super close attention, or we're not getting a ton of kill streaks, I'm getting around anywhere from 55k to 70k, depending on how lucky my monstrous essence are, and also, again, how active my party is. If I'm, I don't know, watching a show or whatever, and I run around, kill a few monsters, and I'm not necessarily taking the optimal path, then I'll lose some kill streaks more often. But if I'm there focused on the game, I can absolutely get 80k experience per minute. And you can kind of see here, I'm trying to respond to messages on Discord, so I'm not actually sitting there madly attacking all the enemies. I'm kind of running around a little bit and stopping in a few areas. But you can see here, I'm just running around, maybe tossing a spinning shield here, dropping a consecration there, and then not finishing off the enemies, or just running through and leaving a fiery trail with my horse. That's because we want to make sure both parties get experience. So that is the optimal way to handle this open world farming, and this is the optimal way to handle this Moon Clan encampment farm. And I know a lot of people were upset at how many people were in their area clogging up their experience, but as long as you get some people who know what they're doing, it's actually better for you than a negative for you. So hopefully that helps you understand open world farming, and specifically the Moon Clan encampment. This strategy can be applied to any area of open world farming. This just happens to be my favorite, and in my opinion, one of the best ways to get consistent experience gains and get those awesome legendaries from the monstrous essence drop. So that being said, hopefully you enjoyed, and I will see you for the next one.